there will be another game against, well, I'll let you guess. That's correct. We're playing the Islanders. Okay. Hey, boys and girls, welcome into show 62. I guess we'll call this episode the penalty box because, well, 62. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of the Pucknologists on Teal Town, USA. I'm your host, AJ Strong, and with me, of course, Rocket Backhander, who took her about 5 seconds for her to get that joke, but I'm assuming that's just because she's still on Nashville time despite coming back to the West.
It is very true. The last couple of days I've been waking up at 5 a.m. because I usually get up around 7 o'clock in the morning out in Nashville. So I'm still getting up at 7 o'clock in Nashville. Unfortunately, I'm getting up at 5 o'clock in the freaking morning here in California. But hey, whatever. I got the joke. I thought it was pretty good. I was like, penalty box? What is the significance of... Oh, that's Kevin. Okay, never mind.
Oh, and of course, we can't go 2 weeks with Hockey Jerk, so he's on assignment, literally. So remember to subscribe to the cast on SoundCloud or your podcast platform of choice. If you're on iTunes, throw some love on there if you enjoy the show, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out Teal Town After Dark, the only live and interactive Sharks postgame show on YouTube. And feel free to leave a comment below, whether you're listening on SoundCloud or YouTube, and we'll do our best to answer them. And as always, hit us up on Twitter and Instagram, both of them at tealtownusa.com. Now let's do that week in Sharks hockey. Wow, what a week it has been. The Sharks are 2-3-0 over their last 5, 7-3-0 over their last 10, 17-6-2 since the meeting in Montreal. Overall, 29-16-7, good for 63 points. And I believe I just made a mistake because we are recording this directly after the Washington game. And as you can tell by my inflection right now, I'm not going to be going back and editing this whatsoever. So it's actually 29-16-7, good for 65 points. Ha-ha! Right now, second in the division, a measly 4 points back of Calgary, now 3 ahead of Vegas, third in the conference. But then again, things have changed. So we're going to confirm, and that is also wrong. The Sharks have now jumped back into second in the conference.
Ooh.
As you can see, a lot of things happened over the last, say, 5 minutes. So let's get into it. 5 games. See, my numbers are all over the place. 5 games since we last spoke with you have been played. Oh, boy. Starting off with a 5-2 victory over the Penguins. Hertl would get the first of 2 hat tricks this week. And Evander Kane would grab assists on each one of Hertl's markers. This was Joe Thornton's 1,000th game wearing teal, so of course Jumbo gets the game winner, and the Sharks were able to hold the Penguins to just 24 shots on goal in this one. Rocket, your thoughts on Sharks Penguins?
Sharks Penguins. It's animals in triangles. Yeah, that's what I remembered about.
Very close logos.
Yeah, 16. Hey, I didn't get to see this game because I've been in the process of driving my Tuckus across country. It took me about a week to do everything from start to finish. So I've been kind of disconnected with the team this week, which makes me a little upset. But I did take a deep sense of pride in knowing that San Jose, for all of its faults and hiccups this season, still is capable of besting the elite teams in the league. And they win games against tough teams and they win games against the garbage teams. It's not consistent, but It is within the scope of their possibility and within the realm of their skills. It is possible. But much like Bain said, you can't have true despair without true hope. So this might be a really painful season. I don't know.
I don't remember that quote from the movie. I just,
Yeah.
I remember a lot, but I don't remember that one. I just remember hearing him talk through that weird mask. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
Enjoy that.
That's all I remember from that movie. Literally was him saying, like, without true hope, there cannot be true despair, it was in that prison with the ledge.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to be just for future, reference. Anytime Puck Guy goes Vancouver impression, I'm going Bain.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So that Penguins victory by the Sharks would cap off a 7-game win streak, had not lost a game in 2019. So who do you really want to see if it can't be the Kings? Of course, it's the Coyotes. So the Sharks would head down to Arizona, and after winning 7 straight, the Sharks would lose in the desert, with Dell posting a spectacular .897 save percentage. The problem with this one, after posting a hat trick the game before, Hertl would be a -3 in this one, while EK65, Erik Karlsson, would be a -4. And, I think that factored into things because we haven't seen Erik Karlsson since, because he's clearly nursing some sort of injury. However, in this one, Kevin LeBanc would get 3 points on the night with a goal and 2 apples. So, hey, at least he stayed out of the box for one game. Hashtag hella dudes.
Hella dudes.
Yeah. So this Arizona game, I mean, yeah, okay, you can sit there and say, oh, this has trap have written all over it. Well, after winning 3 in a row, the Edmonton game had trap written all over it, and there was no problem. After winning 5 in a row, the Ottawa game had trap written all over it, and there was no problem. So I don't buy the trap thing with this. I think the Sharks just, okay, second night of back-to-backs, going from home to the road, maybe, okay, you sit there and go, okay, I'll forgive them losing a game after winning 7 straight. And let's be honest, Dell has not been spectacular, but he has not been mediocre in the last few games.
Let's point out here that he has, except for this last meeting between the Desert Dogs and the Sharks, Aaron Dell was undefeated, I think, against Arizona.
He was killing them.
Yeah. So, I mean, this was definitely an anomaly. Whoever is doing the coaching over at Arizona maybe was like, hey, are they going to play Dell again? Do we have film? Let's take a look at that. Sure. Yeah. So they did, and it worked. So, I mean, the Sharks are going to shark, but dogs are going to dog, and dogs out-dog the Sharks.
Bow, wow, wow, yippee, yo, yippee, yay. And we did invoke the term, so you know what a time it is.
Oh, yeah.
So you figure, okay, they get this loss out of their system. Let's move on. Let's get back to our winning ways. Oh, wait a minute. They're going to face the hottest team, the best team in the NHL in their own barn. Now, they did beat them pretty handedly, 5-2, 2 weeks earlier, but the Sharks would, for the second straight game, drop it 6-3. Lightning strikes at least once. They get their revenge. EK65, of course, scratched with an undisclosed injury. For those of you unaware, he has been shut down through the All Star game. It is up in the air right now whether he will play or not. I believe that he flew back before the Washington game, and we may hear something on Wednesday, possibly Thursday. I hope they wait until Friday so nobody has the opportunity to get on a plane and make it here last minute so Couture can just slide his gear over. But in this one, Jones would post a dreadful 769, and PDB set the line blender to frappe. There was all sorts of line changes in this one.
Yeah.
But this, again, I kind of go back to the whole thing of, well, you dropped the trap game, quote unquote, if you really want to call it that. I don't. But you had 2 days off. And okay, they are the best team, and you did give them a decent amount of time on the power play. When I don't care who you are, what team you are, Tampa is going to bang down that door every opportunity they get. Stamkos with 2 goals in this one. Lightning's power play goes 2 for 4. So yeah, if your PK is at 50% against Tampa, not going to be doing too much for you.
They are such a powerhouse. They have been ever since I started watching NHL. And, when I think it was the first year that I started watching hockey, why do I want to say it was the Blackhawks and the Lightning that went to the finals?
No.
Who went to in 2014?
2014 was the Kings winning the cup.
They were 2013. They were 12.
LA won in 12 and in 14. Chicago won in 10, 13, and 15, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, because Boston won in 11.
So who won in 15 then?
The Blackhawks.
Okay. But they didn't go to the finals with Tampa? No, they wouldn't have. Wait.
I don't believe so. I'm trying. Boy, it's so funny. It all runs together.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Actually, you know what? You are right. It was the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Okay.
You know what? I think I have like 2013 on the brain. Well, and then of course, don't get me started on 2010.
Yeah.
You bastard.
I respect Florida. I respect their game. I respect their system.
You mean Tampa?
Sorry. I respect Tampa, Florida, the upper portion of the pendulous state.
Yes.
Like I said, their system is really strong, and they have a lot of strong pieces. Their farm team tends to push up people who are good. Let me
Could happen.
Let me spew some more really vague platitudes to see if I can't cover all of the locker room cliches. They got their pucks in deep and worked hard in all the dirty areas. They gave a hard 60 minutes, and the Sharks didn't, and the Sharks lost.
Yeah. So we move a little further south to Florida, and for the 3rd straight game, the Sharks would again give up 6 goals, completing the Devil's Triangle, if you will. Holy cannoli. The first time the Sharks have done that since 1997 under the Al Sims era. So, okay. But Toronto would have a 4-point night. The fun part about this one is Meyer played a new game show called Goal or No Goal.
Right? That poor kid. That poor kid. He was like trying so hard, and he's got the deepest hustle, man. Like, I really, really enjoy watching him and his game develop. Every year he adds on more, and every year I'm like, yeah, dude. Yeah. And so, like, for him to be just robbed and denied for as long as he, what was it, like 7 games, 8 games, something?
No, it was like 18.
Oh God, it is even worse. Okay. So for him to finally get off the schneid and then go back on the schneid and then get off the schneid, and then it was like, is the schneid even there? It's Schrodinger's schneid.
It really was silly. And it was okay. Did he first they initially waved it off because I don't know if they were saying goaltender interference or they pushed the pad in, but they go back and look, and Toronto gets involved anyway. They call it a goal, and I actually think Florida did have a little bit of a point here. I think it could have went either way. I don't think I would have had a problem if they had said no. But Jones would get pulled in the 3rd after letting in 5 goals on 21 shots, as the wheels were nowhere to be found. After 4 straight games of posting a 917 or better, those two 769, 762. Jones, where have you gone, my friend? Where have you gone? We miss you. Come back. First 7 games of 2019, Martin Jones, please come back. So the final game would be versus the Washington Capitals. Now, Washington beat the Sharks twice last season in both meetings, and only 1 goal was scored for the Sharks between those 2 games. Guess who it came from? Of course, Timo Meier. So I don't know if if you listen to last week's episode of the Pucknologists, Rocket said on the show, I want Oprah games. I want you get a goal and you get a goal and you get a goal. Damn it, woman, you get what you wish for. Be more specific and say, I want Sharks to you get a goal and you get a goal. You get a goal.
I really, really need to learn how to speak to the hockey gods in a way that they will understand me and not undermine me.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Joe Pavelski scores one of the fastest goals in Sharks history, 12 seconds in. About 10 minutes later, Ovechkin would tie the game, and the Sharks would never hold the lead after that until Hertl would get the third goal of his hat trick, the first ever in overtime for the Sharks. I still can't believe that. 27 years of hockey. And there's some people are going to be what do you mean 27? It's 20, we're in the 28th year. Well, remember, we lost an entire season. Just saying. But Ovi got a hat trick, but the fact that Hertl would get his third goal of the night in overtime, that I can't believe that Marlowe had never done that. I can't believe Chichu had never done that. It just blows me away. And then other fun fact, the Sharks are now the first team to allow 6+ goals in 4 straight since the Mighty Ducks in 1995, which I believe that was their third season. So,
oh man,
holy hell! So there's a little bit to talk about here. So let's get into it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So for me, oh yeah. The oh yeah for this is this break for the All Star game and the bye week, for lack of a better term, could not come at a better time. And the funny thing being is, if you talked to Coach DeBoer a week ago, it was kind of sad to see this break come up on us because we're on a great roll, and a week later things have changed, my friend. This break could not come at a better time. We can rest Vlasic, we can rest EK65. We can perhaps figure out what the hell is going on with this penalty kill that has let in a goal in 5 straight games. So the break could not come at a better time. Rocket.
My good is the fact that I am now back in the Pacific time zone, and I will be at FanFest. I'm going to be down there, All-Star game, doing it. You know why? It's my birthday.
Hey now.
Yeah.
And so my I guess my bad would be up until this Washington game, I was just kind of, and actually still 4 straight goals. What the hell? Can this defense get any worse? I don't know that it can. I really don't.
I think it could if they go out there with their shoelaces tied together.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think they could play in shoes, and it's still, I don't know that it would make that much of a difference.
Like if they just go there with sneakers and brooms.
Yeah, exactly. Holy hell.
That's okay. Yeah. I think my bad would be, I don't even want to blame the defense. I want to blame the entire team, because when you give up that many goals consistently, it's not just a D-line problem. That is a systemic issue from beginning to end. And if they're trying to push production, it's working, because they are getting really high quality chances, et cetera, but it's also changing their vulnerabilities, and they haven't been able to catch up with that yet.
Yeah. I don't get how this team, the mantra was they had such good team defense, great puck possession. Mm-hmm. They knew how to lock stuff down. This, unless they have a 3-goal lead with about 5 minutes left, I'm not feeling safe. But
yeah.
Then again, versus Washington, they were down by 2 goals in 2 different times during this game and still found a way with 1 second left, courtesy of Evander Kane, to send it into overtime, and then giving Washington multiple good looks in the first minute or so of OT. Mm-hmm. Finally, they get the right line out there. And of course, the interesting thing, going 3 forwards, but reuniting what for quite some time was your best line in Couture, Meyer, and Hertl. And then Hertl, I mean, you can't say enough good things about that kid. He's just Well, with the exception of that -3 the other day. But anyway, no.
Well, I have a question, real quick question here. So, do you think so Ovi got a hat trick, right?
Yes,
Yay!
yes.
And then Hertl comes in and has the audacity to score a hat trick on top of Ovi's hat trick. Is that disrespectful?
And now we go to Adam Oates to find out. I don't know. We need to reach out to Adam Oates and find out what the deal is. Is that also disrespectful? We don't know. So for our really? Yeah, I mean, I touched on it, but the Sharks give up 6 goals in 4 straight games for the first time in franchise history. Let's hope we don't see that again for, I don't know, another 27 years of Sharks hockey. Yeah, I would prefer that. What's just the ugly for you that you just like?
The ugly for me is that Kevin Labanc spends so much time in the penalty box that he serves bench minors for other people now. Like, he is the default guy to go to the penalty box. That's how good at it he is. That's my really? Like, stay out of the damn box, Kevin.
Well, he's not a penalty killer, so there's no reason to have him on the bench in that option. And okay, but you got to feel for the guy. But it is becoming like the sandstorm.
It's his job. Oh my God, it's not Sharks hockey until Labanc's in the penalty box. Put that on your bingo card.
Exactly. So let's get on to the 3 stars of the week, or what we call.
Oh, good for you.
And of course, with Jerk not being here, we'll just automatically give that his star to Couture. Rocket, yours?
Let's see. This week I'm going to go with Evander Kane. That goal with 1 second left was a beautiful thing, and I think that, I mean, you can pump Erik Karlsson up all you want, but his transition to this team has been rough. It's been rocky. And when Evander Kane got here, it was like he just blended in perfectly. It was just this little spark and shiny piece that we needed, and it was great. He has been amazing since he got here. I love watching him play. I never thought I would say that because, he's from Buffalo. I don't like Buffalo, but man, I really like this kid's style. I think that he definitely belongs here in San Jose.
Yeah, it's Atlanta, Buffalo, Winnipeg. It's like, I don't like any of these places. But anyway, my star, I got to tell you, initially I was going to go with Vlasic as my star of the week because he's like the one guy who didn't screw up this whole
Not
week.
His fault. Nothing is his fault.
Exactly.
Poor
Vlasic. You're going to get my star for not being on the ice for any of this horse crap.
Get better, Mark Edward.
Yeah. But of course, I got to go with my boy, Tomas Hertl. I mean, 2 hat tricks in 5 games. Again, had that -3. Well, yeah. But either way, 2 hat trick, and remember, he hasn't scored a hat trick. His first hat trick was, of course, the 4 goals against the Rangers back in 2013. So it's nice to see that all of a sudden, boom, 2 in a week. Hey, now. And hello, an overtime winner for his name just went down in the book of Sharks fun facts. Now that's going to be win that bar bet in 10 years and say, hey, can you name the Shark that actually was the first guy? Because there may be, or it might be only still in 10 years, but what's the name of that Shark who actually scored a hat trick, but his 3rd goal came in overtime? I like it. I like it. So we move on.
Pizza. All right, hold on.
No. You said it. It's fine. It's fine. We move on.
It's on the script, AJ. Sorry.
I don't care.
Okay.
So we know Erik Karlsson has been shut down through the All Star game. Who will take his place? Remains to be seen. Funny you should say that. I said, you know what? Since EK65 could be out, just slide Dylan over there. +20 on the plus minus right now. His defensive partner, and I was somewhat kidding with it, but I said, shut up. You know who liked that tweet? Tim Heed's mom. So I appreciate that, Anita.
Shout out, Anita. Good for you.
if you're going to replace him with a defenseman, the most obvious choice is Giordano from Calgary. But I do like the idea, and I can't remember who floated this. It might have been Brody Brazil, but somebody had floated the idea of just wait until announcing at the last possible minute, so Giordano can't get on a plane and be here in time, so they'll just slide Couture's gear over into EK65's locker, because it's 3-on-3 anyway. Who cares? And they want 3 Sharks represented. That's clear.
All right, so if you got to have a Shark in 3-on-3, which Shark would you want to see?
I think Couture. I'm fine with Couture. I think he deserves it. I mean, if Burns and Pavelski are already going to be there, yeah. I mean, Couture seemed to be the most logical. I think Timo Meier made a strong case early on in the first 25 games, but the last 20 or so, like we said, he had that run of 17 games or so where he just could not find the back of the net. Now, granted, during half of that stretch, he also was no longer playing with Hertl, which seemed to be maybe a key to some of his success. But I go with Couture on that one. I'm on the bus that Brody's driving. Not saying this is the hill I will die on, but I'm on the bus.
Right. You're somewhere in the back near the minibar.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I feel you.
So speaking of EK65, though, evidently his agent was down in Tampa Bay to meet with Sharks general manager Doug Wilson, and this is apparently the start of a dialogue on his future. We're hearing from the headlines on Hockey Night in Canada that they'd left through the first half of the season, and they wanted to give both sides a chance to get acclimated. And now they're talking a little bit, and it's, of course, too soon to say where this is going to go in terms of how EK feels, but he's obviously played better and apparently appreciates the way the Sharks have treated him during the early time here. So they're evidently expected to meet again sometime around the All-Star game, or there is a whole week off after that. Plenty of time to do some talking. So where do you see EK65 landing? Do you think that the Sharks are able to re-sign him? I know when we talked to Drew Remenda about this a couple months ago, he was 99% EK signs with San Jose. And I was very hesitant because I'm going, he's not having a lot of success. Now, this is, after game 20 and things are not looking good. But at this point, things seem to be clicking. Do you think he signs? And remember, though, the Sharks still have to find a way to pay this guy.
No, I don't think he stays. I think he walks.
Oh, where do you think he's going? If you say the Islanders, I swear to God.
No, he's going to Nashville.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What are you talking about? Yossi and Subban and Eric? Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, he's going to go there, and Nashville's defense is just going to crush everyone.
I think it'd be funny if he ended up with the Islanders. That would be so to lose Tavares. And the funny thing being, of course, the Islanders lose Tavares to Toronto. And a lot of people thought that, the Islanders they're not going to do that. They're going to have to get through a season or two. And where we're at right now, just beyond the halfway point with the All-Star break coming, the Islanders actually have 2 more points than the Toronto Maple Leafs. Could you imagine if they got Erik Karlsson?
Wow.
But I digress. So we'll see what happens. Another interesting bit of news, Marc-Edouard Vlasic, he misses 7 games, and then mysteriously on the 21st, he was placed on the IR, and then later that day was somehow made available. I don't know how the IR works in that regard, but I was told that once you were on it for a minimum of 7 days. Yeah. I don't know what this opt-out option is, but it's interesting, and I still haven't seen Cap Friendly revoke it yet, but whatever. I just thought it was fun.
I think there's some other stuff going on that there's maybe some personal issues that the team is kind of not talking about, because this seems a little weird for him to be on the IR, not on the IR, and then just to be day with absolutely no update.
I see someone's reading Kurz's Twitter.
Yeah, I thought that was one. Kevin has some salty tweets, and Kevin has some Homer tweets. I mean, I guess we all do. Good for us. But that one was especially poignant, and I could appreciate I could kind of sense a little bit of frustration in it. And yeah, at some point when you don't tell anybody anything other than this person is day to day, this person is day to day. Well, why? Undisclosed injury. I tend to think that that's an umbrella statement for something that's a larger issue that they're taking care of off the ice.
I just want to be there at the end of the season, whether it's Kurz or Gackle or Brody or whoever that just sits there with this list, this entire notepad where it's Hertl was out for these 6 games and Edward Vlasic was out for these 10 games and blah blah blah, and just go back and say, okay, so October 18th through the 25th, Hertl was out. Why was that? And then they can actually say what it was. I mean, we knew that Pavelski was hurting last season, and no one knew why. And then, of course, we find out once the team is cleaning out their lockers. Oh, yeah, he had like a broken wrist for half the year,
Yeah, it'll be something like both of his corneas are beginning to separate or something terrible like that. Oh. He'll get better. It'll be fine.
It shall. So
it's a flesh wound.
Yeah, that's all it is. You nicked me. That's all it was. So, let's wrap it around here. Those All-Star game tickets are hella pricey, yo.
Yeah, because they're hella cashing in like they do with the hella playoffs. I'm probably not going to the All-Star game itself because, frankly, I'm down for All-Star week for the mascot events. I am that person. Yeah, I'm straight up and down that person. I love every single mascot in the NHL. I'm down for it.
Well, I couldn't believe there was somebody. Was it Ticket IQ? There was somebody who busted out a tweet that was talking about that these are like the priciest tickets in, like, I don't know if it was history, but it seemed like it was damn close.
Man, there's got to be like a soccer game out there, something real elite in Europe that was charged more than this.
I don't know. I do not know, but they were talking about how these are like the most expensive seats. What? What's your problem?
Sorry, I just actually looked at the price.
Oh yeah, they're up there. And now here's the thing, though. Here's your problem. It says so. It was Ticket IQ. It says All-Star game in San Jose, most expensive in the last 5 years, and 240% above the 2017 game in LA. That seems a little weird. The other thing is you get on Ticketmaster right now, there are no tickets that you can buy directly. It's all quote unquote verified resellers and season ticket holders that are trying to get rid of their tickets. There are at least 500 to 600 tickets still left, even though the event is like 3 days from now. The other issue being is one of the season ticket holders was lamenting on Twitter that clearly something is not going right with these tickets, because they initially told season ticket holders, like, you'll be able to get your seats that you have. You'll have that option.
Right.
Now, evidently, they started reaching out earlier this week that, if you want to buy up to 3 times how many season tickets you have, we'll allow you to do that. So clearly some seats are available.
Yeah, but see, that's where the problem is. It's all average secondary market listing, and everybody who's got a secondary ticket is adding on a price to it. So you're not just paying for the ticket, you're paying the vendor, which is basically every greedy ass mofo who's double charging for their damn tickets. So if you want to blame the empty seats, don't blame uninterested fans. Blame all these money-hungry jerk-offs who are charging double, triple, quadruple for what they paid for their All-Star ticket.
Yeah, what he said.
Keep on doing whatever it is you're doing.
No, I'm going with that. Yeah, what she said, man, that was exactly right. I think at some point, I don't know when it was, but there used to be quite some time ago, maybe when there was still a lot more teal fever than there was back in the early 2000s. I remember paying, probably 40% over face value for a ticket at that point, because tickets were just really in demand. And then you would also probably pay that in during the playoffs, maybe even 50 or 60. Oh, wait, did I said it?
Playoffs.
But at this point, and it really did start with the reverse sweep against LA, is since then just that demand. I remember a couple times going with a buddy of mine to Patty's Inn on game day at like 4:30. Have a beer, hey, let's pop onto StubHub or whatever. And you could find seats that were like normally $40 for $18. So
Yeah.
you look at these all-star prices and you're just going, good luck getting that.
Yeah. They're going to just have what are they going to do when they have like 500 people in a venue that seats 17,000 people? Are they going to just ask them to all move to one section?
No, it's not that bad. But I do think that you're going to, I think, just maybe check if you're interested in going to the All-Star game and you haven't purchased a ticket. Maybe you check it like noon on Saturday. Those prices might come down just a scotch.
Right.
Just saying. So let's
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So we shall preview the games that will be occurring until we speak with you next, looking like February 3rd. So there's really just one game. Oh, well, there also is that All-Star game, but there will be another game against, well, I'll let you guess. That's correct. We're playing the Islanders. Okay. So we're facing the Dogs yet again. So stock up on your beer, people, because this one is not a national game. So Randy and Brody will be trying to see just how buzzed they can get you on that one.
I'm ready for this.
Right. So
yes.
we won't be here next week because obviously it's hockey's off for us. Besides the All-Star game, there will be content. There should be a decent amount of content. Like I always say, follow us on YouTube, check our Twitter. There will be some content, but not from the Pucknologists for a couple of weeks until February 3rd because there's not any game being played that is really Sharks related. We're not going to get on here for 10 minutes to talk about Brent Burns and his 1 goal and his 2 starfish defensive posture plays during the All-Star game.
The idea makes me mad.
Exactly. So with that, we're gonna shut down. We're gonna take this episode 62 back into the penalty box where it belongs.
It's gonna give it a game misconduct and have it walk off down the tunnel is what it's gonna do.
Yeah, hella man, yo. Final thoughts on where the people can find you besides now on the West Coast, Rocket.
Hi, my name is Rocket Backhander, and I live in California now. Woo woo! I'm, What are my final thoughts? Man, this team is dynamic in the worst way possible. In that, I say dynamic because I mean they're capable of great things, but they do not achieve them on a consistent basis. Sometimes they play like hot garbage, which means they're dynamic.
Dynamo or Dynamo?
Right? Dynamo, my God. Yeah, they're no good sometimes. And sometimes they're the best thing that's ever happened. They're, Sharks. Hey, that's becoming, for me, the hallmark of Sharks hockey, though, is that they are dynamic, inconsistent, and just they give me white hair. They do. So I continue to come back for more of it. Because I don't know. You know why. I know why. We all know why. Burritos. You can find me on the Twitter machine, capital R, capital B, little Ackhander 76. That's R Backhander 76. Or you can check me out visually on the Instagram, Rocket Backhander, one word. AJ?
My final thoughts is get back to your winning ways because Kayla's getting cranky. That's what I have to say.
Hey now.
Hey now, AJ_strong on the Twitter, on the Instagram. Again, follow us on YouTube. Give us a subscription. Subscribe to us on SoundCloud or iTunes or whatever podcast catcher you use. Make sure to check out the post-game show that follows every Sharks game on our YouTube channel. And as always, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Tealtown USA. Thank you for listening. We will see you next time. And make sure to, if you head out to the NHL Fan Fair, holler at your Pucknologists if you see them.
Right?
We'll be there.
Represent.
See you next time for episode 63.
Hella.